super long essay.
All right, welcome back to another School Principal Reacts. This is Brandon coming to you with another episode of Ned's Declassified School Survival Guide. This one is called Stress. And I see in this randomly selected still frame, I see Ned and Mose like breathing into a paper sack. And I see Gordy. Last episode, which was called Popularity, I didn't see a single teacher the entire episode, but I guess now we're going to go back to adults. I wonder if he will get any potential firings in this episode. But stress, I mean, stress is a part of school for most students. So let's go ahead and take a look at it. If you're not a subscriber to my channel, especially if you always tune in on Tuesdays to watch these episodes, please do yourself a favor and do me a favor, a personal favor, and just click the subscribe button. I will greatly appreciate it, and it will help me to continue to finish out this series. But let's get into the episode.
We're all waiting for
Sweeney.
the answer.
Stress. You're not graded on it, but how you score on the freak out meter can really affect how you do in school.
True.
Well,
I actually like his tie here. You see Sweeney's little DNA tie? That's pretty cool. Okay, so is he the principal now?
Finally! I, Evelyn Kwong, am the smartest kid in school.
Evelyn.
Simon Nelson Cook is not!
Keeping your grades up high is totally stressful.
Which, one thing that I'll comment on, Mr. Wright put up the top grade makers, which is a really weird way to say it. You don't typically see that in middle school. Now, in high school, you do have your class rank, and every high school normally has, for instance, the valedictorian, which is first in their class, the salutatorian, which is second in their class, and then all the way on down to the bottom. But you typically don't publish that, like especially out in the open. They keep it kind of private. Now, each student will know what their class rank is typically, but you wouldn't just like post the whole entire thing. But when it comes to graduation, people are going to figure out who is what rank, or at the very least, who is an honor graduate and who the valedictorian and salutatorian actually is. But let's keep going.
And friendships and relationships can also be stressful. But luckily for me and Susie, things are great.
Okay,
Hey, Susie.
maybe not.
Susie. Hey. Susie!
It's not good. Now he's freaking out. Stressing out.
Susie, it's gonna dump.
Potential firing. Oh, man. Gordy was in the episode for, what, a second before getting a potential firing. It doesn't bode well. Yeah, if he's sleeping on the job, that's a firing right there. You can't do it.
Okay, stop stressing and think. Did you do anything to upset her or hurt her or eat with your mouth open in any way?
Your nose looks really big here. Wow.
Ooh. Oh, so gross.
No?
Yes.
Maybe she's seeing someone that's not me. And he's better looking.
Oh, Nettie, you need to be more like me and not care.
I need your help.
Okay. All right, we'll fix this thing before you turn into one of those freaky, stressy people. This way.
All right, and depending on what he does to help Ned, he could get himself more potential firings. You don't get involved in that stuff. If you are a staff member, whether you're a janitor, whether you're a teacher, whether you're a principal, you don't get involved in trying to fix student relationship problems. You just don't do it.
It's
Clogging.
tough being a student.
You know, one thing I did notice is all of a sudden they're color coordinating everything. I noticed on the popularity episode, even though I didn't comment on it, that everybody was wearing like the Polk colors, like I'm wearing the green and the bright orange. And here all the lockers are blue and she's wearing blue, and certain scenes you just notice everything is very color coordinated.
School stuff. Then you volunteer after school at the animal shelter. Then you've got volleyball, dance, piano, and let's not forget homework.
How'd you know I do all that?
I didn't. I did all of those things when I was your age, and it can be pretty stressful,
Yes.
but I did it. And here I am, in a box. Yep, you and me Jennifer, are a lot alike.
And I wonder if they'll go into this because I have commented several times before on other videos that I have known students, particularly at higher performing schools that I've served at in the past, that have really gone overboard with their grades and other activities. In other words, they haven't just set high standards for themselves and worked hard, because there's nothing wrong with those things. I don't want you all to misunderstand me, but I have personally seen students who will place such a high bar on themselves that they end up stressing out and having emotional problems, and also sometimes parents put too much pressure on students such that they end up having some sort of breakdown and end up not doing well because of that stress. So you just have to balance it. There's nothing in the world wrong with doing things after school, volunteering, doing your homework, of course, she mentioned that, or just having really high standards as far as your grades go, but there is such a thing as going too far with that.
Really?
Now she's freaking out. Oh no. Okay, they're battling to be the top grade maker, which again is a weird way to say it. Now, I see this way more in high school because you do have your valedictorian, your head of your class, and typically when you get to high school graduation, the valedictorian, it's a great honor to be the valedictorian, and you get to make a speech, and the salutatorian also typically speaks at graduation. And I have seen kind of this bitter rivalry where a group of students or 2 or 3 students know that they're at the very top of their class, and they know that every single grade they make counts toward that. Typically, at most high schools that I've been at, the valedictorian is determined to be the student who has the highest grades, but that's every single grade that you ever get while in high school, starting in 9th grade. So it's a little different from place to place how that is actually calculated and what the rules are about that, but it's basically you're the top of your class academically, and I have seen bitter rivalries like this come out of that process before. It's kind of silly though.
Simon, I was wondering, would you like to get some pizza after school today?
Okay. Yeah, I was wondering. Either this is going to mess up his studies, or he's going to be too mean or harsh to Lisa because of this rivalry. Neither one of them are very good. He needs to balance this. He doesn't necessarily have to ignore Lisa, and he doesn't necessarily have to ignore studies. He just needs to balance it and get some time management, but it looks like Lisa might be upset by what's going to happen here.
Studying for today's English test. I'll get a 100, but when I wow our teacher with my long extra credit essay, my grade point average will top Evelyn, and I will be number 1.
Impossible! For it is I who will write this super long essay!
Now, I've never seen this. Typically, students who are in the running for valedictorian in high school, again, I don't see this kind of ranking in middle school usually, but in high school, you don't behave like that. Like, students who are in the running for that would never behave like that. Now, do they get upset when they're not number 1 or number 2 or number 3 or whatever they thought they were? Yes, they do, but they don't behave like this. This is really crazy and unrealistic. Oh, Mr. Wright.
Sorry, son. I'm a bit stressed out. Our English scores are below.
Because he's the principal now, right? And he's stressed out about the English scores, which, you know, there's some truth to that. I mean, as principal, you're responsible for the academic growth of your school, and if your school's not doing well, yeah, there could be some stress there. That's very true. Let's see what Mr. Wright says here.
Jefferson Middle School. The principal calls me just to laugh, but if we score higher...
That's pretty funny. So if you didn't catch that, he said that their English scores at Polk were lower than Jefferson Middle School, and he said the principal of Jefferson Middle School calls just to laugh. No. Now, are schools compared to one another? Yes, they are. Do principals privately say, yeah, we're the top in our region or area or county or whatever? Yes, they might say that. Do they mock the others? No. I've never seen that happen ever, a principal mocking or saying something negative about another school or another principal, at least not like this. You just wouldn't do that. As an educator, you want that other school to grow as well. Now, you still want to be number one or whatever it is, but you don't call them and laugh or mock them or taunt them or something like that.
On the English test today, then we'll be number one, and I'll be the one who's laughing.
What?
She looks like she doesn't like me anymore.
She's buying a soda.
Hey, I'm glad you're here. I wanted to talk to you about something.
Me too.
And with him pushing him like that, that's probably a potential firing. Let's go ahead and call it. That's potential firing number 2. Let's keep going.
Oh, 1 second. Yay, you called.
Uh-oh.
I've got to take this. I've been waiting to get to you all day.
Oh, this is bad.
I got rid of him. I'll be right there.
What? It doesn't look good. Is this Ned's imagination? Yeah.
Kissing a handsome kid, I know it.
Oh, that's only stress vision. Stress
Stress
vision.
vision.
That's when you let your imagination run wild and you think the worst is happening. When it's not!
What? Okay, this is going to be good. So I'm guessing, and look at Moses' face here. That's pretty funny. So I'm guessing we're going to get to see everybody's stress vision, and this is Moses' stress vision, I'm guessing, that she's having, that she's going to become teacher or whatever her name was. Let's see. This should be pretty good.
Whoa!
Yeah.
I might be overscheduled. I do too much stuff. Teacher says we're alike. What am I gonna do?
Breathe. Try being a kid, you know, chill, relax, take a nap, smell the flowers.
And while I don't like him giving advice, that's probably okay. He probably wouldn't get in any trouble for that. Now, handing her a bag is probably a bit much, and that might be like a discussion with one of the administrators, but it's not a firing. He's probably okay here.
Smells pretty good. Maybe I do need to chill. Instead of stressing, I should be chilling. I'm chilled.
The acting in this episode is pretty good too, and I can tell what's going to happen. I suspect that she's going to chill a little too much and sort of ignore everything. I said before, you need a balance. That's what you need.
Nothing like teacher.
And I'm done stressing too. Things with Susie and me will be fine.
Okay.
I totally can't wait to see you this weekend. I love you too.
It's gonna be like a family member or something like that, I'm guessing, but he's not taking it that way, of course.
Breathe.
And chill.
Lisa, can't think about pizza. Can only think about
This is a little weird. I don't know what's going on here. They should not be that close for any reason. And people who do have this rivalry, again, that part of it is real. Some sort of bitter academic rivalry. Yes, I've seen that happen in multiple schools now. But they don't act like this. They just don't. They might think like this on the inside, but they don't behave like this, and they certainly don't get up in each other's face. It just doesn't happen.
destroying Evelyn on the English test.
This time, it is I who says ha. Ha!
I'm stressing out. Instead of studying for the English test, I looked at cloud formations. And I saw a pig.
What?
Susie's
Stress
married!
vision.
Him!
Yeah, and I've seen that extra before. I don't know if he really has a name. He's like one of the generic staff members or whatever, and I'm not sure why is there a football practice blocker, whatever it's called, I don't even know, in the hallway. That doesn't really make any sense.
Dude, you gotta chill.
Moses acting.
Go with the flow.
This is so weird.
Susie's gonna dump me. If she can't catch me,
Oh
she
no.
can't break.
No, Ned, don't do this. It's just stop. He's got to just calm down and just stop.
I gotta go.
Where did Ned go? I wanted to talk to him about something.
Susie.
This is so out of character for Mose. It's just funny.
You guys gotta chill.
Oh boy, Evelyn. I remember you guys telling me about Evelyn in the comments. I don't know if she becomes a major character or a permanent part of the cast, but I do remember you guys mentioning her by name.
Okay. You may start.
What's going on? "40 minutes."
Okay, you can bring your test books to the front.
So weird. And just because he wrote more doesn't mean he will get a better score at all. And I do remember those blue books. They look like these official test booklets that you have to take certain types of tests in, particularly like the AP exam and stuff like that. I believe you have those formal test booklets, but usually not as part of a normal class. It's pretty intense. Ooh.
Frowny face.
Yeah, so she went the complete opposite direction. So like I said, there's nothing wrong with having high standards for yourself and for your academic performance, but you can take it too far. But she is going the opposite direction because there are plenty of students who don't care, who don't have any sort of drive for themselves or want to improve, and we're constantly, as educators, trying to motivate them and help them along the way. But she has reverted back to the exact opposite of what she was doing before, which is overstressing, and now she's like, I don't even care that I failed. Now that's an equally bad problem, I would say a worse problem, than what she was doing before.
I must say, I'm disappointed.
But I bet you never failed a test. Guess we're not that much alike after all.
Nope, I never failed a test.
Yes! Awesome! Woo! I failed! Why am I cheering about that?
Yeah,
You know,
that
a little
sounds so
stress
weird.
is actually good. It's an alarm in your head that tells you to make adjustments.
Maybe I made too big an adjustment.
Yeah, you did.
Too much stress and you could end up teaching from your house in a box. But no stress, and you could end up like Gordon!
That's pretty funny. It's also a potential firing, number 3, I think it was. But that was pretty funny. Yeah, if you don't stress at all, in other words, you don't care about your academic performance, yeah, you're not going to do quite as well, and you're not going to have as many options as far as when you graduate from high school. That is true.
Okay, that helps. Gordy, have you seen that?
That's not Gordy, is it? That is Ned. Uh-oh. And that's potential firing number 4, by the way. You can't lie down in the hallway like that. You just can't.
Hey, Lisa, you are looking at the #1 smarty at Polk, who's looking forward to having that pizza.
Oh, now she doesn't want to. Now she's not going to want to because he rejected her, basically, or didn't pay her any attention, or thought this bitter rivalry with Evelyn was more important. He should have just, again, had a balance.
Oh, I kind of already have a date.
Me and Lisa are getting a slice of pizza. Since you went all crazy with her grades, asked her, and she said yes. Now,
I can see that we still have the Martin little, I don't know what to call it, Martin's theme, I guess. But he doesn't talk quite as fast as he did at the beginning of this series.
asked you to come along and all, but no.
Well, maybe tomorrow.
Nope. We're getting a corn dog.
What?
Okay, then. How about the day after?
What in the world? What?
Simon, great news. Because of your massive essay, we beat Jeff.
And again, the quantity of writing does not mean you're going to get a good score. I don't even know what they were supposedly writing about or what their assignment was, but he says because of your massive essay, as if the number of words alone dictated what his score was going to be. But let's see what he says. I'm guessing they are in the top rankings now, which again, that does happen in a larger school district or a regional area or statewide or even nationwide. Those things are ranked and people do look at that.
Jefferson, we are #1. Check this out.
It doesn't happen.
You know, Simon, you and I are a lot alike. I, too, was at the top of my class.
And that's good, right?
Oh, that's great. Sure, I would like to play football or maybe had a few more friends, but I was at the top.
And it was worth it, right?
Of course. Looking back, it would have been nice to have a girlfriend or maybe one friend.
Oh.
Oh, Simon, don't be like me.
But grades are important, right?
Yes.
But
All right, here we go. He's going to bring it all together. Yes, grades are important, but you have to balance it. Hopefully, Mr. Wright has a good message here. I'm counting on him to do this. Usually he does. Let's see.
focus on gaining the knowledge, and the good grades will follow.
Yeah.
And most
That's pretty good. That's pretty good, actually. Did you hear what he said? He said, focus on gaining the knowledge. I've said so many times before that some students, particularly the high-performing students, care about the grade and that's it, right? I don't care if I learn or not. I just want the grade, whatever I have to do to make the grade, and then they end up having issues later because they got good grades, but they didn't learn anything, and so if they go to college, they're really struggling at that point because they didn't learn what they needed, and that's also the school's responsibility to make sure that doesn't happen and that they have to learn the appropriate content in order to get the grade. But yes, Mr. Wright is absolutely right. He's correct. You do need to focus on the learning itself. That is the most important thing.
If a girl asks you out for pizza, you go!
Dad, I know that's you.
Oh boy. And you know, she's not going to be very happy with him after all of this, so he may be causing his own issue here. If what she needed to talk to him about is really nothing or something positive, but it's like, you were running away from me, so now I want nothing to do with you. This is not a good strategy, Ned.
Oh! Oh! Find your own.
Okay, he had an eye mask on, so he was sleeping in the bushes. That's another potential firing. I've lost count. I think that's either 4 or 5. I'm not sure. I'm sure the correct number is on the screen, but that's a potential firing.
Place to nap.
Yep, he was napping.
Oh, and Susie's looking for you.
Uh-oh. All right, here we go.
I know what's been going on. I sort of overheard you on the phone.
It's just that he's really far away and I love him.
Family
I'm
member?
sure he's a great guy if that's the way you feel about him.
He's the best, but I only get to see him on the weekends now, so I still have time for you during the week.
Wait, you want 2 boyfriends?
Boyfriend? Ned, I'm talking about my dad.
Yeah, there you go.
Say what? My dad got a job out of state, and now I only see him on the weekends. You thought I had another boyfriend?
Okay, so this is going to cause a problem. Ned should not have done any of this. He should have just talked to her initially.
Didn't I tell you not to stress?
And that's probably another potential firing. You can't push kids like that. You just can't do it.
So, when it comes to stressing out,
Tips.
let's review. Don't let stress vision get the best of you.
Stress
'Cause
vision.
things are never as bad as they seem.
What?
If you think you might be overscheduled, lighten up and schedule some goof-off time.
Good. That's good.
And grades are important in school.
What?
Be careful not to make them the most important thing in life.
Next week, you are mine. You can't defeat me. I'm Evelyn Kwong.
Good luck with that. You deserve it.
Evelyn.
Wait, what does that mean?
Teach me.
What? This is so weird. What's going on here?
I'm gonna take a nap.
I'm a little freaked
They're
out.
weirded out. Yeah.
You know, maybe it's not so bad being like them.
Oh.
Yeah, it is.
All right, here we go. There's the wrap-up music. All right, well, that's the episode. That was a particularly funny one. I really enjoyed that one, and yeah, had some good messages about stress, even though the characters in this case made some pretty crazy mistakes. Cookie with his overcompensating to try and beat another student academically. Mose with her going too far with scheduling herself and then not caring and then going back the other way. And then Ned with his evading Susie all the time. but they learned about how to deal with their stress in the end. That was a really funny one. I enjoyed it. I hope you enjoyed rewatching it with me. I hope you also continue here along with me as I continue to go through this series and eventually finish it out at the end of the year. If you're not a subscriber and you enjoy this every Tuesday along with me, please click the button below to subscribe, and I'll see you on the next video here on School Principal Reacts. Once again, thanks for watching. That you have to take certain types of tests in, particularly like the AP. Particularly like the AP exam.